Chelsea traveled to Camp Nou to take on Barcelona for the second leg of this last 16 tie. Before we get into the video, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the 100k subscribers. It goes without saying, none of this would be possible without you guys, so I appreciate you. The first leg ended 1-1, with Barcelona getting a goal later in the second half due to their high pressure which forced Christensen to make a mistake. Barcelona definitely were content with the 1-1 draw in the first leg because it meant that Chelsea cannot sit back like they did in the first leg. They had to go out and get a goal at least. Bearing that in mind, Conte decided to have a target man this time around, so Giroud leaded the front line while Hazard and Willian were on either side of him. And they used a high defensive line in this game, unlike the first leg. Apart from that, they lined up very similar to how they lined up in the first leg. In this video, I won't be going into as much detail about Chelsea's tactics because I did that in my previous video. This video will focus more on Barcelona's tactics. Barcelona, on the other hand, clearly needed a change in tactics because Chelsea almost won the first leg. They lined up as 4-4-2 on paper, but it was more like 4-2-3-1. So Valverde decided to stick with Rakitic and Busquets as defensive midfielders, while Dembele was brought in to play on the right wing. Let's get into more detail. Dembele was staying wide on the right wing for a reason. In the first leg, a Chelsea forward would drop just inside of the left wing, which dragged away Roberto from his position. Chelsea wingbacks then used this space to get on the flanks. So playing Dembele on the right wing was not just to offer an attacking threat from the right, but it was to deal with Alonso, as he likes to get upfield quite a lot. As a result, Dembele was forced to play as a right back, with Barcelona playing with back 5 at times. There is one more thing about Dembele playing on the right wing that we will get into later in this video. Since Dembele was on the right wing, Roberto did not have to come upfield like he was doing in the first leg. Valverde used this to his advantage and played him as an inverted fullback. This caused Hazard to leave his position and leave space for Barcelona to exploit. They used this space to move the ball around with comfort near Chelsea's box, as the inverted fullback kept causing Chelsea's shape to break. Not only that, but Rakitic playing deeper than usual also caused Chelsea to open up, which created even more space in behind the midfield. This was Barcelona's tactics on the right side of the field. On the left side, the tactics were slightly different. Iniesta was not playing as a wide player like Dembele was. Instead, like always, he came inside or dropped deep to help in the build-up. And so, just like in the first leg, Alba became Barcelona's widest player on the left wing. Alba was allowed to be really offensive because of Barcelona playing with 2 defensive midfielders who always filled in for anyone caught out of position. But Chelsea were able to take advantage of this, as I will explain later. You may recall, in the first leg, Hazard was marking Busquets, which affected Chelsea's counterattacks. In this match, Giroud wasn't marking anyone, and was always ready to counterattack. This made ball retention easy for Barcelona, as all Giroud was doing was putting pressure on the midfielders, which they were able to play around against pretty easily, as you may have expected. Barcelona had the upper hand when starting this game due to these tactics. But not even 2 minutes into the match, they get fortunate, as everyone is caught by surprise. Not taking anything away from Messi, Courtois should not be letting that in. Chelsea were now a goal behind, but this goal should not have changed their game plan too much, as they had to score a goal regardless. After the goal, Messi started dropping deep. This is because Barcelona's main objective was to make sure that Chelsea's midfielders do not get involved in the play. As a result, Barcelona's midfielders played narrow, which affected Chelsea's build-up play. Even when Chelsea went wide, Suarez and Messi marked Conte and Fabregas, so they could not link up with anyone. That, combined with Barcelona's high pressure, made it difficult for Chelsea to hold on to the ball for a good amount of time. This forced Chelsea to go long to Giroud every time they got the ball to try to get upfield. It did work sometimes, but most of the time it was Barcelona who got the ball back as they got narrow. Since Chelsea's midfield was not able to link up with the forwards effectively, Chelsea had 2 ways to get upfield. The forwards dropped deep and tried to link up with each other in the final third. But this was not as common, as Barcelona's midfield and defense made sure to come narrow every time Chelsea's forwards got into pockets of space. The other way they used to get upfield was by using the right wing. Since Iniesta was coming narrow, Alba was having to mark 2 players on his own for the most part. This allowed Chelsea to get upfield using the right wing. Chelsea responded well to going down early in this game, as they kept on trying to get back. But it was Barcelona who were still in control even when Chelsea were attacking. Dembele played a big part in this. Since Alonso likes to attack a lot, Dembele had to stay with him as we discussed. But Dembele is a forward, so he will want to get forward on every opportunity, especially if it's a counter-attack. This is where Chelsea were struggling. Alonso gets caught off field, which allows Dembele to exploit the space. No wonder this happened in the 20th minute as Chelsea gets caught in a counter-attack. Barcelona were definitely not at their best, but that's the thing, they didn't need to be. Now, Dembele going upfield to attack was not always a good thing for Barcelona, as Chelsea were able to get in behind using the left wing whenever Dembele was caught upfield, returning from a counter-attack. When Barcelona attempted to play from the back, Chelsea used high pressure to disrupt their build-up play, but Barcelona had an easy time getting around that pressure. Notice how they form a diamond on either side of the field when building up. Chelsea were getting more and more chances later in the first half. That may have to do something with Chelsea starting to play from the back instead of going long on every occasion. And became the more threatening team and continued to attack right until the halftime whistle. Alonso came very close to getting Chelsea a goal right before the break. The first half ended with Barcelona leading with 2 goals. As the second half started, it seemed like Conte made a subtle change to his midfield. He realized his midfield was not being afforded any space by Barcelona, so he tasked Rudiger to go into the midfield. This allowed Conte to be more open, as Suarez marked a Chelsea defender who was in the midfield. This change allowed Chelsea to have much more possession than they did in the first half, and as a result, were more threatening in this half. Conte was brilliant as he kept breaking down Barcelona's attacks. Chelsea were now playing a lot riskier because they knew they had to do it. But Barcelona's high pressure almost got them another goal as Chelsea kept playing from the back. In the 56th minute, Iniesta came off for Paulinho. Busquets had an injury scare, so he was replaced by Andre Gomez in the 61st minute. Barcelona were now mainly relying on counterattacks, while Chelsea kept on attacking with their forwards linking up. The forwards were now playing close to each other as they looked to link up with each other in hopes of getting in behind the defense. But Barcelona made sure to stay alert and get upfield anytime they caught Chelsea off guard. Eventually, Chelsea were still trying to exploit the space on the wings. They were now able to get on the left wing quite easily. So Valverde brought on Vidal for Dembele in the 66th minute because Vidal is much better defensively, and at the same time he offers an attacking threat as well. Chelsea started to send one of their midfielders forward, while one stayed back. Chelsea were pinning Barcelona back towards the end of the second half. And came very close to getting their first goal of the game. Conte brought on Morata, Pedro, and Zappacosta in hopes of changing the outcome of this match. But it was to no avail, as Barcelona did well to defend against Chelsea's threats. Barcelona now advanced to quarterfinals, where they will take on Roma. Conte's Chelsea played good, but Valverde's tactics made sure that Barcelona advanced without having to give their best. What do you guys think about this tie? Were Barcelona the better team over the two legs? I would love to hear what you guys think, so let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thank you to Kale Mombongo, Anthony, Tej Mullen, and Shawshank BR for supporting this channel on Patreon. You're making it possible for me to keep making videos like these. If you like what I do and would like to support the channel so I don't have to worry about my videos being blocked or demonetized, check out the Patreon page by clicking the link in the description or the pop-up on the top right.